Escaping the hustle and bustle of the city, seeking peace of mind is the reason for those who come to Ubud. In Ubud, Tirta Empul is the top choice for those who want to cleanse their souls. Tirta Empul Temple was built in 962 AD. Tirta Empul means holy water that springs from the underground. Tirta Empul was created by Lord Indra, one of the main gods in Hindu. Until now, Tirta Empul is believed to have healing powers and the ability to cleanse their souls. Tirta Empul is divided into three parts, Jabapura front yard, Jabatengah middle yard, and Jabadalam, which is the core part. Every visitors who come to this place must follow several rules, such as wearing a sarong before entering the temple yard and tying their hair before entering the Jabadalam, which is the core of Tirta Empul's temple. The core of Tirta Empul temple is a place of worship for Hindus that is still used today. It is believed to be the site where Lord Indra descended to earth in 225 AD to fight against King Mayadenawa. The holy water created by Lord Indra thousands of years ago is centered here. We can see the bubbles rising from the underground, that is, the water that comes out from the underground is like that. So Mr. Jero, where does this water flow? This holy spring. Yes, this holy spring, which was created by Indra as mentioned earlier, it was around the year 225 AD, consists of three pools. The first pool is called the Vanaketira. There the water is used for ceremonial rituals, our traditional ceremonies in Bali. And then the second pool is intended for Melukat, spiritual cleansing. And also, the third pool is for people who have died. So it is for the Ngaben ceremony, Balinese cremation ritual. Yeah, that's how it is. Before the temple was built, this place was a large river, and the Tirta Empul appeared in the middle of the river. Melukat is the Balinese term for cleansing the soul, and the power of Tirta Empul's water calls all souls who long for a spiritual experience. Not only local residents, but this temple is also visited by people from outside Bali and even from the other countries. At least 3,000 visitors come to Tirta Empul every day, bringing their prayers and hopes for a better life.
It was an interesting experience. I come from Chile. I'm Catholic, so this is all new to me, the temple and the purifying water. So it's good seeing like other people living this experience, hoping like to purify their souls, and for me too. Yes, I pray for myself and also for my family back there, for them to take all the bad things in their lives.
It was amazing. It was very peaceful, very tranquil. I'm very honoured to be able to have done it. It was a lovely experience. Really happy, really like calm and like peaceful, which is nice. It was really, really lovely.
After changing into a green clothes provided by the temple, I joined the queue with other visitors. In the central area, there are about 30 fountains with different names and purposes. Every visitor can pray according to their belief in front of the fountains before wetting themselves. After that, the face can be washed with water 3 times, and the head is also dipped into the water 3 times. Every drop of water that touches my skin seems to bring a sense of calm and peace. I also offered a prayer according to my belief after the cleansing rituals with the Tirta Empul's water sports. So, that was my experience of bathing in the holy water. of Tirta Ampul. Tirta Ampul fountains have covered all the others, so maybe if you don't have time but want to come or purify yourself in Tirta Ampul, you can just queue at one fountain, which is the Tirta Ampul's water spout. Not only for cleansing the soul, but the Tirta Ampul spring, which flows into the river and irrigation system in the Tampak Siring area, is also believed by the local residents as a source of fertility.
On the other side of Ubud, hidden within the Hasil and Basil of Ubud's hearts, lies a stunning sanctuary dedicated to Dewi Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and the arts. Known as Ubud Water Palace, this breathtaking place is actually the front courtyard of Pura Taman Kemuda Saraswati. Built in 1915, the palace exuded an aura of grandeur through the water pools that surround the place. As visitors cross the bridge over a lotus pond, they are welcomed by 3 grand Kori Agung gates, leading to the temples of Inner Sanctum. This is the boundary between Ubud Water Palace and Pura Saraswati behind me. Visitors are only allowed up to this point because the temple is a sacred place for worship. That's why we're only allowed up to here as a form of respect. I'm also wearing this purple outfit, which is provided by Ubud Water Palace to honor the tradition of the Balinese people. In Balinese, the color purple is called Tani, which means to rise. Besides being a sign of respect for the temple area, the color purple in this outfit represents revival from the pandemic. Purple is also a symbol of luxury and nobility. The use of this outfit started in 2023. Ubud Water Palace and Pura Taman Kemuda Saraswati are more than just beautiful landmarks. This place is a historical legacy, carrying the soul of Balinese art and spirituality that built by Cokorda Gede Ngurah. This is actually the legacy of our family, especially my grandfathers. He was the one who designed and came up with the idea for Pura Taman Kemuda Saraswati. When we talk about Saraswati, she is closely associated with knowledge and devotion. Hopefully, this place can be a reminder of that divine essence. We can see the statue of Saraswati inside, which we recently restored. The sound of water flowing through Ubud Water Palace adds a natural harmony that soothes the soul. Designed by a renowned Ubud artist, each statue lining this place represents Hindu mythology, embodying the spiritual essence of cultural richness of Bali.
This water palace is an amazing place. I really like the fact that we have to dress up to go inside. It's a kind of really traditional things, and I like the purple and all the waterfalls.
The presence of Ubud Water Palace today seems to offer a journey into the core of Balinese culture, showcasing the grandeur of the past royal era. In the heart of Ubud, the sacred forest pulses with life and ancient myths. Sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary, home to thousands of long-tailed monkeys. The ancient statues and 3 sacred temples hidden within the forest create a mystical atmosphere, as if every corner of the sanctuary holds a story full of tradition and spirituality. Breaking the silence, Wayan Muda lets out a loud call to summon the monkeys. What are you doing? I'm calling the monkeys. Also, that's how you call them. What is their actual behavior like? When it's time to eat, do they already know their meal time? We usually have feeding times for them, but if we call them and offer food, they'll come right away. Can visitors feed them? It's not allowed here. Macaca fascicularis is the scientific name of this long-tailed monkey. This monkey is a species that is widely spread in the tropical regions of Southeast Asia, and they live in colonies. In Monkey Forest Ubud, there are approximately 10 colonies with a total of more than 1,000 monkeys. Even though their faces look the same, Wayan Muda is able to distinguish each individual. That is obvious because Wayan has been working in the monkey forest for 25 years. As part of conservation, not only faces, he also understands the behavior of the monkeys. We know that each monkey is different. Their faces aren't the same. If you've been around them long enough, you can tell them apart. Sometimes, the one we're close to, we even call by name. The monkeys are kinda like friends to us, just like humans with each other. It's like having kids. If we treat them well, they'll be good to us too.
Some monkeys are afraid of him because he usually has to catch monkeys that need treatment. In Monkey Forest, there are 4 monkeys that are in intensive care because their health is in disturbed. Some are blind to lose their limbs. Wayan is very aware of his role, which must protect the sustainability of monkeys, not only because they are sacred animals for Balinese people, but he also aware that these monkeys have become a source of livelihood of the people of Ubud. Monkey Forest Ubud is not only a place for monkeys, but also a place for every human being who seeks peace and close connection with nature. But not a few also come to this place to seek entertainment from the actions of monkeys.
It's very good, like the monkeys look free, look like they're having a good time, so really good.
Earlier I said down, they almost become many monkeys too, but he said don't look at the eyes. It seems like nature like this is free but protected for them. That's really good in my opinion. One of the most popular attractions for visitors who come to Monkey Forest is taking a selfie with the monkeys. Let's try it. What are the things that allowed and not allowed to be done with taking the selfie, sir? We have to be calm. The things that not allowed to do is touch the monkeys. That's all? Okay, that's men must be calm and do not touch the monkeys. Okay, so I'll just wait here, sir. Visitors who want to take selfie with the monkey must be relaxed and not panic when the monkeys approach. Make sure to always follow the instruction from the guide. A beautiful nature makes Ubud filled with various living creatures. Here there is a small paradise called the Kemenuh Butterfly Park. Every corner in this place is a living canvas that filled with a bright color and attractive movement that create a stunning visual symphony. And it is the Kemenuh Butterfly Park. When I entered, I immediately felt like I was in a fairy tale world because there were 1,000 of butterflies flying here. And the butterflies consist of 15 species that originally come from Indonesia. And not only butterflies, but we also can see a lot of flowers with beautiful colors, because indeed these flowers are deliberately placed here because there are food for the butterflies here. The Kemenuh Butterfly Park is a place for conservation and education about butterflies, typical of Indonesia. Not only can see the beautiful of butterflies, visitors can also learn the life cycles of butterflies, or what is better known as metamorphosis.
Even though the process of metamorphosis takes a long time, approximately 1 to 2 months, the lifespan of butterflies is only around 5 days to 1 month. One of the butterflies that caught my attention the most is the barong butterfly from Bali, which is a giant size when compared to the others. The butterfly is actually a type of moth. It's the largest type of moth in the world. Well, this is barong butterfly, a typical butterfly from Bali. Its size is very large, almost the size of my palm like this, and unfortunately this butterfly is almost dead because its age is only up to 5 days. So how is the process, please? So the process is start from the egg. So the egg is approximately 1 week or 2 weeks. After that becomes a caterpillar for 1 month and become a cocoon like this for 1 month. Then it will hatch into a barong butterfly. And the barong butterfly itself, why does it only live for 5 days? So it's different. He doesn't have a mouth at all, unlike butterflies in general, which have a proboscis or a tool that we can call a well that the barong doesn't have. It means that barong doesn't have something to suck nectar from the flowers. Tourists who visit this place feel entertained and gain new knowledge, especially for those who come with their children.
It's beautiful here. It's really nice. Tranquil, peaceful, and the range of butterflies is really amazing. Yes, it was really insightful actually. Some of the big moths that I had no idea. We were told that they only live for 5 days because they don't even have a mouth, which I had no idea. So yeah, it was really interesting.
The Kamenuh Butterfly Park is not only a shelter for these beautiful winged creatures, but also an oasis for humans who seek peace and inspiration from the eternal charm of nature.